Welcome back to Healthier Daily. I want to start today with something that might sound a little bit scary, but it's a reality we all need to face. By the time you finish watching this 20-minute video, over 120 million of your muscle cells will have died. Yes, you heard me right. After we cross that 60-year mark, our bodies start breaking down muscle tissue at a rate that would shock most people.
It is a silent process, Ben. Doctors call it sarcopenia. It's the reason why one day you realize the gallon of milk feels heavier than it used to, or your balance feels a little less sure when you step off a curb. Now, most of the big supplement companies will tell you to just take more omega-3s. They spend billions on ads for fish oil, calling it an anti-aging miracle. But in my decades of treating seniors, I've seen the truth. Omega-3 alone cannot save your muscles.
That's the Siu Nagawa, the big twist. Think of your muscles like a car engine. Omega-3 is like the oil. It keeps things slippery and smooth, which is great. But if you don't have a spark plug, that engine is never going to start. You can pour in the most expensive oil in the world, but if the spark is missing, you're just sitting in a shiny car that won't move.
Exactly. In my clinic, I watched patients waste years and hundreds of dollars on fish oil, wondering why they still woke up feeling stiff, tired, and weaker every month. The secret isn't just oiling the muscle. It's about reactivating the muscle stem cells. These are the tiny repair crews that live inside your tissue. They are waiting for specific instructions to start rebuilding while you sleep.
Today we are revealing the 7 nighttime vitamins that act as that spark plug. These nutrients tell your body to stop the breakdown and start the repair the moment your head hits the pillow. And I'm telling you, wait until we get to number 2. This one outperformed omega-3 by over 300% in restoring strength to seniors. It's a complete game changer that the big brands have tried to keep quiet.
We're starting with number 7, vitamin D3. Now, most people call this the sunshine vitamin, but for a senior, it's actually more like a master hormone. 70% of folks over 60 are deficient in D3, and that means their muscles have literally forgotten how to absorb the protein they eat.
I remember a patient named Janet. She was 69 and told me her legs felt hollow. She was doing everything right, taking her calcium and her fish oil, but she was waking up every morning feeling like she'd run a marathon in her sleep. Once we got her on the right dose of D3 right before bed, she told me, "Ben, I feel solid again." Her engine finally had the spark it needed to rebuild overnight.
Timing is everything. If you take D3 in the morning, you're wasting its potential. Your muscle repair crews punch the clock during deep sleep. That is when D3 does its best work, balancing your hormones and triggering that overnight repair.
Before we move on to the switch at number 6, I want to ask our Healthier Daily family, how old are you and have you noticed your morning stiffness getting worse lately? Tell us your age and your story in the comments. We read every single one because your journey might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're ready to turn the spark back on, hit that subscribe. All right, we've got the spark plug with our D3. Now let's talk about number 6, vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine. Dr. Hinohara, most people think of B vitamins for energy during the day, so it sounds a bit strange to tell someone to take it right before bed. Why is this little nutrient so critical for what happens while we're dreaming?
It is because vitamin B6 is the orchestra conductor of your overnight repair crew. Ben, think about it. You can eat the best steak or the highest quality protein powder for dinner. But if you don't have enough B6, Your body literally cannot unlock those amino acids. Without it, all that expensive protein just goes to waste. After age 60, our natural B6 levels take a nosedive. When that happens, your muscle repair process just stops.
That is a huge waste of money and effort. B6 is also responsible for making melatonin and growth hormone. Now, growth hormone is the magic repair fluid for seniors. It's what tells your muscle fibers to knit themselves back together after a day of walking or gardening. If your B6 is low, your body doesn't produce enough growth hormone, and you wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all.
I remember Larry, a 72-year-old former truck driver. He came to me and said, "Doc, every morning my calves feel like two heavy rocks. They are tight, they are sore, and I can't even get comfortable in bed." He was restless all night. When we checked his blood, his B6 was in the basement. I told him to take a B complex with a heavy focus on BX 30 minutes before bed with a small glass of warm milk. 2 weeks later, he told me I slept like a child, and for the first time in months, I woke up without pain.
That is the power of getting the chemistry right. Now let's move to number 5, a vitamin everyone knows, but almost nobody uses for muscle health, vitamin C. Now, Dr. Hinohara, most people take this for a cold, but you say it's actually the glue that keeps an 80-year-old's muscles from falling apart.
Exactly, Ben. As we get older, our muscle fibers start to develop tiny microscopic tears. It happens when you climb stairs, carry your groceries, or even just stand for too long. Vitamin C is the essential foundation for collagen synthesis. Think of collagen as the scaffolding or the glue that keeps your muscle fibers strong and elastic. Without enough vitamin C, your muscles start to fray from the inside out.
I love that analogy of fraying. It's like an old rope that starts to come apart strand by strand. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with the highest vitamin C intake had twice the muscle mass of those with low intake. That is a massive difference. It's not because they were lifting heavier weights. It's because their bodies were actually gluing their muscles back together every night.
I'll never forget Carolyn, a 70-year-old retired painter. She told me, "I feel like my muscles bruise from the inside out." She was taking vitamin D, but she was skipping the vitamin C. I told her to take 500 milligrams of buffered vitamin C right before bed. Why at night? Because your body's collagen production peaks between 11:00 p.m. and 2:00 a.m.
So if you're taking it in the morning, you're missing the construction window. When Carolyn started taking it at night, she said it felt like her body was finally knitting itself back together. She regained her range of motion, and that deep internal soreness finally vanished.
It also helps your body absorb the next 2 vitamins on our list. It acts like the delivery driver, making sure the nutrients actually reach the muscle cells.
We've got the conductor and the glue, but wait until you see number 4. It's the rust-proof coating for your circulation, and it's the secret to making sure your hands and feet don't feel frozen when you wake up in the morning.
It is the oil for your circulation engine. We are talking about vitamin E.
Before we reveal how vitamin E stops your muscles from rusting, I have to ask, do you ever wake up feeling stiff as a board for the first 30 minutes of the day? If that's you, type stiff in the comments. We want to show you how to wake up feeling oiled and ready to move. All right, we are moving into the heart of our list. We've repaired the scaffolding and invited the conductor to the party. Now let's talk about number 4, vitamin E. Now, Dr. Hinohara, most people think of vitamin E for their skin or maybe their heart, But for a senior who feels like their muscles are frozen in the morning, this is actually the rust-proof coating for your body, isn't it?
That is a perfect way to put it. Ben, I want everyone to imagine their muscle fibers like the fine machinery of a clock. As we age, our bodies produce something called free radicals. Think of these as tiny bits of rust that attack your muscle membranes while you sleep. Without enough vitamin E, your muscle cells actually start to oxidize. That is why you wake up feeling stiff, numb, or like your muscles take 2 hours just to warm up.
It's like trying to start a car that's been sitting in the rain for 10 years. A 2021 study showed that seniors with optimal vitamin E levels had 37% better muscle strength. Why? Because vitamin E keeps your blood flowing through the tiny capillaries, those microscopic pipes that deliver oxygen straight to your muscle fibers. If those pipes get rusty or clogged, your muscles literally starve for oxygen all night long.
I remember Harold, a retired plumber, 74 years old. He told me, Dr. Hinohara, my hands just don't work when I wake up. I can't even make a fist to hold my coffee mug. His vitamin E was incredibly low. I told him to take 200 units right before bed with a small handful of almonds. The healthy fat helps the vitamins soak in. 3 weeks later, Harold came back and made a solid fist right in front of me. He said the frozen feeling was gone.
That's incredible. It's all about keeping that circulation engine oiled. Now let's move to number 3, vitamin B12. This one is the internal spark plug. Dr. Hinohara, I see so many seniors who eat plenty of meat and eggs, yet they are still dangerously low in B12. How is that possible?
This is a hidden crisis for seniors, Ben. After age 60, your stomach stops producing a special protein called intrinsic factor. Without it, your body can't grab the B12 out of your food. It just passes right through you. When B12 drops your muscles, don't just get tired, they actually lose their connection to your brain.
This is what I call the unplug lamp effect. You can have a perfectly good lamp your muscles, but if the cord is unplugged from the wall, your nerves that lamp is never going to turn on. B12 is what feeds the protective coating on your nerves. When that coating thins out, your balance fades, your reaction time slows down, and your legs start to feel heavy or tingly.
A 2018 study found that seniors low in B12 were 45% more likely to suffer from muscle loss. I once treated Norma, a 76-year-old librarian. She told me I feel like my legs aren't listening to my brain anymore. She was worried she was developing a serious brain disease, but it was just a B12 deficiency. We put her on a sublingual B12, the kind that melts under the tongue right before bed. Within a month, she said it's like someone plugged my legs back into the wall.
And here is the nighttime secret for B12. While you sleep, B12 works to lower something called homocysteine. High levels of that stuff act like trash in your blood vessels, blocking nutrients from reaching your muscles. B12 clears the highway so your repair crew can get to work.
We have oiled the machinery and fixed the electrical wiring, but we are coming up on the 2 most important nutrients of all. Number 2 is a vitamin that acts like a traffic cop, and it's the secret to stopping your muscles from turning into stone.
And then we have number 1, the master switch that controls over 300 reactions in your body. If you're missing this one, none of the other 6 vitamins will even work.
Before we reveal the traffic cop, I have a question. Do you ever feel a tingling or pins and needles sensation in your feet at night? If so, type spark in the comments. We want to show you how to reconnect your body.
We are moving into the home stretch now, and I want everyone to lean in because number 2 is something that most doctors only talked about for bone health until very recently. We're talking about vitamin K2. Now, Dr. Hinohara, in our clinic, we've seen a strange phenomenon where seniors have plenty of calcium in their bodies, but their muscles feel stiff and hard like cement. Why does K2 change that?
It is because vitamin K2 is the body's traffic cop, Ben. As we get older, calcium has a bad habit of getting lost. Instead of staying in your bones where it belongs, it starts leaking into your soft tissues, your arteries, and your muscles. When calcium builds up inside your muscle fibers, they can't relax. They become stiff, calcified, and brittle. K2 arrives on the scene and says, "Hey, you don't belong here. Get back into the bones."
It's like trying to bend a piece of dry calcified leather versus a soft oiled glove. A 2017 study found that seniors who took K2 improved their muscle strength by 26% in just 12 weeks. But it's not just about moving the calcium. K2 also boosts your mitochondria. Those are the tiny power plants inside your muscle cells. When those power plants run better, your muscles rebuild much faster while you're dreaming.
I remember Eleanor. She was 81. She told me, "Doctor, my legs feel like stone when I wake up. I have to massage them for 20 minutes just to walk to the bathroom." We found out she was taking heavy calcium supplements, but zero K2. The calcium was literally stuck in her leg muscles. We put her on the MK7 form of K2 right after dinner. A month later, she called me amazed. She said, "I can flex again. The cement is gone."
That is the traffic cop at work. And now we have reached the pinnacle. Number 1, magnesium. Dr. Hinohara, if there is one nutrient that acts as the master switch for everything we've talked about today, it's this one. Yet nearly every senior over 60 is unknowingly deficient in it every single night.
It is the heavyweight champion of muscle repair, Ben. Scientists call it the relaxation mineral, but it does so much more. Magnesium powers over 300 reactions in your body. If you don't have enough magnesium, your body literally cannot switch into repair mode. You can take all the protein and all the other vitamins in the world, but without magnesium, the master switch is off.
This is why so many seniors suffer from those Charlie horses or nighttime leg cramps that wake them up screaming. It's a cry for help from your muscles. A landmark 2021 study showed that seniors who restored their magnesium had 40% stronger grip strength in just 1 month. Think about that. Your strength isn't gone because of age. It's just locked because the switch is off.
I'll never forget George, 79 years old. He told me, "It's like my legs have forgotten how to rest." He had tried stretch massage and even expensive creams. Nothing worked. I told him to take magnesium glycinate 30 minutes before bed with a little warm water. Within 10 nights, George told me, "Doc, for the first time in years, I slept through the night without a single spasm. It feels like my body finally exhaled."
The body exhaled, what a beautiful way to put it. Magnesium lowers your cortisol, that's the stress hormone that eats your muscle and increases GABA, which calms your brain. It forces your body into that deep sleep where the growth hormone peaks and your muscles actually knit themselves back together.
If you wake up feeling exhausted, weak, and sore, your body isn't just old Ben. It is begging for magnesium. It is the foundation of the entire nighttime repair system.
We've covered the big seven, but we aren't done yet. We need to show you how to put this all together into a nighttime muscle roadmap so you know exactly what to do before you turn out the lights tonight.
Before we give you the final roadmap, I have to ask, do you suffer from leg cramps or restless legs at night? If you're ready to flip the master switch tonight, type repair in the comments. Let's get you sleeping peacefully again.
All right, we have reached the summit. We've talked about the traffic cop, the spark plug, and the master switch. But Dr. Hinohara, I know what our friends at home are thinking. They are looking at this list of 7 vitamins and thinking, Dr. Ben, do I really have to swallow 7 pills every night right before I go to sleep? My nightstand is already crowded enough. How do we make this practical for a senior who wants results but doesn't want a pill buffet?
That is a very fair concern, Ben. We don't want anyone feeling like they are a walking pharmacy. The secret is what I call smart layering. You see, many of these nutrients work better when they are taken together, and some can even be found in the same bottle. I want to give the Healthier Daily family a 3-step bedtime routine that makes this easy, safe, and effective.
I love that. Let's break it down into a simple schedule.
Step 1. The dinner layer. Right after your last meal. This is the best time for your fat-soluble vitamins, that is, vitamin D3, vitamin E, and vitamin K2. Why? Because these 3 need a little bit of fat from your food to get absorbed into your bloodstream. If you take them on an empty stomach, you're just flushing your money down the drain. I recommend 2,000 units of D3, 200 units of vitamin E, and 100 micrograms of K2 in the MK7 form.
That makes perfect sense. And by taking them at dinner, they have time to settle into your system before the repair window opens at midnight. Now, what about the water-soluble vitamins, the B vitamins and vitamin C?
Step 2. The hour before bed layer. This is when you take your vitamin B6, B12, and vitamin C. These don't need fat, but they do need a little water. B6 and B12 are often found together in a B complex. I recommend a sublingual B12. That's the kind that melts under your tongue because, as we discussed, your stomach might not be great at absorbing it. For vitamin C, 500 milligrams is the sweet spot for collagen repair without upsetting your stomach.
And that brings us to the heavyweight champion. When is the best time for the magnesium?
Step 3. The lights out switch. Take your magnesium 30 minutes before you actually close your eyes. I recommend magnesium glycinate. It is the most gentle form for a senior's stomach, and it has a natural sedative effect. Take about 300 to 400 milligrams with a small glass of warm water. This is the signal to your brain and your muscles that the workday is over and the night shift repair crew can finally punch the clock.
Nodding. It's like a shutdown sequence for your body. You are clearing the calcium with K2 spark plugging the repair with D3 and then finally throwing the master switch with magnesium. I've seen patients who followed this simple 3-step plan and told me that within 2 weeks their morning creaks were 80% better.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect on day 1. If you're overwhelmed, just start with magnesium and D3. Those are the 2 biggest needle movers for seniors. Once you feel that solid feeling returning to your legs, you can add the others. Your body is incredibly forgiving, Ben. It just needs the right tools at the right time.
We've given you the roadmap and the instructions, but we have one more part to go. We're going to wrap it all up with a muscle preservation manifesto and a final message of hope to show you why your best years of movement might still be ahead of you.
Before we reach the finish line, I have to ask, which of these 3 steps feels the easiest for you to start tonight? Dinner hour, before bed, or lights out? Tell us in the comments. We want to see how the Healthier Daily family is taking actions.
We have covered a lot of ground today. We've moved from the startling reality of muscle cell loss to the incredible science of nighttime repair. We've looked at the traffic cop, the spark plug, and that master switch. Dr. Hinohara, as a man who has lived through 10 decades of health transitions, what is the one thing you want our friends at home to hold on to as they close this video?
I want them to know that sarcopenia is not a life sentence. I see so many seniors who walk with their heads down thinking that their strong days are a memory from 30 years ago. But your body is a masterpiece of biology. It never stops trying to repair itself. When you give it these 7 vitamins at night, you aren't just taking pills, you're giving your body the permission to stay young. You are telling your muscles, we are not done yet.
That is so powerful. We are not done yet. To make sure everyone leaves here with a clear plan, let's go over the Healthier Daily Bedtime Checklist one last time. Grab a pen and write this down. D3, 2, Schoenzeln IU, the instructions for repair. B6 and B12, the conductor and the nerve spark. Vitamin C, 500 milligrams, the muscle glue. Vitamin E, the rust-proofing for circulation. Vitamin K2, MK7, the traffic cop for calcium. Magnesium, 300-400 milligrams, the master switch for deep recovery.
And remember the golden rule of timing. Your body builds muscle while you sleep, not while you're running errands. By taking these before bed, you are aligning your nutrition with your biology. I want you to imagine yourself waking up 2 weeks from now. Imagine swinging your legs out of bed and feeling solid on the floor. No trembling, no frozen hands, just the steady strength of a body that spent the night rebuilding itself.
That vision is possible for you. It doesn't matter if you're 65, 80, or 92. The science of muscle stem cell activation works at any age. You just have to give your night shift repair crew the tools they need to do their job.
Don't wait for someday. Someday is tonight. Pick 1 or 2 of these vitamins to start with and watch how your body responds. You'll be amazed at how fast the hollow feeling turns back into solid strength.
If today's masterclass gave you a sense of hope or a new roadmap for your health, please hit that like button. It helps us reach more seniors who feel like they've been left behind by modern medicine. And if you haven't joined our Healthier Daily family yet, hit that subscribe button. We are your partners in this journey to 100 and beyond.
Ora boss, medical disclaimer. Always check with your primary care doctor before starting a new supplement routine, especially if you are on blood thinners or have kidney concerns.
Be patient with your progress. Be kind to your cells and remember your muscles are listening to every instruction you give them. Give them the gift of a deep restorative night.
Stay strong, stay hopeful, and we will see you in the next video.
Stay healthy, everyone.